Hello everybody, Robert Marzullo here, and I just wanted to show you today how drawing your perspective lines can make your drawings come out more realistic and help you through the imagination process. So I've already laid out a simple one-point perspective here, and you can see I've blue lined in a couple building shapes, some road lines, nothing too concrete or solid though, just some basic guidelines. And then now what I would do, whether or not I use paper and a light table or digital in the way that I'm doing it here, I would make sure that on a separate layer, um, and I can blue line this, but I'll probably switch this one, let's see, to the actual color I'm going to use here, black in this case. So, okay, so with the one point perspective, I'll draw the first character up close here, and I'll use the mannequin style drawing for this purpose. Say this will be the waist. I'm drawing the three main forms first to get the position. And let's pretend that this character is pointing off into the distance. Maybe they see some sort of danger or something coming their way. And, you know, kind of the spread out limbs like they're ready to take off running or towards or away, depending on if they're a hero or a victim. So we'll sketch that in. And mainly what this does is gives me some guidelines to imagine the character in the 3D space, and it's a lot easier to put down. Like, I barely had to think about that because I already had these other lines to give me some kind of positioning and imagining where this character sits in that 3D space. So now this even gives me another set of guidelines. I can bring a line over to the side here, and if there's another character, I can use them as a base measurement for how tall or short that other character might be. So say they're a little bit shorter and they're about here, so they're roughly the same distance across, but just a little bit shorter. And I can also use the perspective lines this way. And one of the great things about doing it this way is that now each other character, vehicle, different things, you can use these guys as a form of measurement to build more believable props into your set, or you know, items into your scene here. So maybe this person's looking at this, and let's say they're turning to get ready to get the heck out of there. Maybe this is something bad that they see, so they're already kind of sideways with the top portion of their body. Um, Again, I'm looking over at the character on the left for reference to where I might end the waist, position the legs, stuff like that. So they're already kind of turned, and here's one leg spinning around, this one other in a back stance. And you know, always remember to draw as much expression into the hands. I mean, this is still just a very basic sketch, but you know, expression in the hands are just essential for making these scenes have some emotion. And there's a lot of things, but hand expression is very important. You know, just by this person having their fingers protruding outward almost shows a sign of distress. Okay, so there's character number two, and we'll also put some motion in this character by the flip of the hair. So maybe it's a woman kind of turning to get the heck out of there, and we see her hair kind of flip around and come a little bit in front of the face. And that shows that she really is kind of turning away from that danger. Okay, and let's see. So let's get some other people running off in the distance. So now if we use this character, now for instance, say we want the character over here. but we want them to be the same height relation as this guy. So you can draw another construction line off to the side. We'll say that they're this much further over in space. Now bring that to your single point perspective. So once they're over to here, they're going to come up to that line. Now his arm's blocking that, so I'm going to change that position to about here. But that still gives us a similar height relation um, to this guy in that portion of the space. So now this one's where will the danger, and they're just running full tilt towards the camera, trying to get out of there. And same thing for the feet. You'd go over, you'd hit, well, we run out of space, but I'm guessing it's this line here. You carry that down right to the feet. So that gives you a general, all these things can help you to cross measure the scene. And you know, we'll just say that in the background they see this huge mushroom cloud explosion. And they're running because they know the reverb's coming and it's gonna smash out all the windows. It's gonna flip cars, throw people around like horseshoes. So they're trying to get out of there. And this guy is just like, I can't believe this. Maybe he's a superhero. He's warning everybody. We'll give him a cape. He's warning everybody, but he's getting ready to fly into the danger. But yeah, so at any rate, this isn't trying to draw a full scene. Obviously, I'm just trying to show you how that by drawing this perspective lines, and this is a single point perspective. It doesn't get much easier than that. I mean, we can get into 2-point, 3-point, but really, all you have to remember that anytime you're trying to recede some information into space, it's going to have its own point to the horizon. Another thing to remember, if the horizon point is low, then all the objects are going to be more extremely at an upward angle. If the horizon point is higher, then you're going to be looking down on objects. So, um, you know, it's real basic stuff. But if you draw those lines first and then draw your characters, that's the point I'm trying to make. I think you may, if you're having a problem, especially with proportions or correct type drawings and look, and you're always wondering why doesn't this look correct? You know, why are my objects not matching the backgrounds? I think a lot of people try to just start sketching everything and then making it fit afterwards. Try drawing your perspective lines first. You could even take it a step further. You could take another layer, another sheet of paper, whatever. You could do grid lines. And I mean, that's a lot of pre-setup work. You know, you don't really have to do that once you get better at this stuff. But it's really going to help you to know where everything's falling and to give you a better idea of that space and proportion. So if you really wanted to take it a step further, you could go through and do stuff like this. And then now when you go to draw that, you know, you're going to see, you know, the windows would probably look better this size versus this size. You know, it's just going to give you a better feel for the proportions of all the objects in there. And it's really going to help you draw your characters. That's the main part I'm looking at when doing this, because that's the hardest part for me. I mean, you know, yes, I don't draw the greatest buildings, I don't think, but you know, I know that if I put my mind to it, buildings are pretty easy. You know, the most complex thing you're ever going to draw is the hands, foreshortening. Hair can sometimes be tough, but and just good, you know, good poses. You know, like you can see just in this little sketch here. I'm not saying this is a great pose, but it's got a believable type motion and movement to it. Now, once I overlay a couple layers to this and draw in uh, more of a finesse style, I'm going to be able to get this pose to look pretty decent. As to where if I would have just, you know, as to where this one back here is a very basic pose. But I tend to do that too. Like if it's something in the background, you know, it's probably going to look a little bit more basic. I'm going to spend more of my time on the foreground images and trying to make these look cool, you know, more details, stuff like that. So, okay, well, hopefully that helps. If you got any questions, please let me know. and I'll keep uploading videos and try to improve where I can. Thanks very much for watching, and take care, and please subscribe. Thank you.